Hello, 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 hello. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Our Stock Trades. How's everybody doing today? What's going on? All right, so I'm in the East Coast, guys. Still in Miami. I'm in the East Coast, guys. So, it's midnight in the East Coast. So, no complaints, right? You got your East Coasters can't complain. I'm up with you guys in midnight, right? So let's going on. This midnight live. Okay. So what's going on? CLOV to retirement. All right. So, um, I want to humbly apologize for actually being this late. I've been, you know, relaxing, going back to code, going out to eat and coming back. But we went ahead and updated our progression analysis. Uh, so this is a new upgrade. Uh, we have, holy crap, did we like really, this took me a long time. And I'm going to explain to you kind of what it is, but this is our price to sales analysis. Okay. It automatically now does the calculation for you, and there's a manual override if you want to personalize it to your liking. This thing is incredibly smart. If you put this here, it automatically removes this. If you use this, it'll automatically remove the manual. There's a lot of this, right? Right? Hardest working rich man. Let's go, right? Hey, it's all hard work, right? No shortcuts, right? So I'm very proud. Cannot wait to show this to you guys. But first, we got to talk about what if scenario. Now, very quickly for folks that haven't seen it, yesterday I created a what if scenario if counterpart assistant gets into the VA. I would like to make a correction to this for the table for the VA, just to be very conservative. Let's assume 1.0. Let's assume like $1 billion in annual revenue. And then with the $1 billion in annual revenue, we can go ahead and attack it with the price to sales of these different types of sections. I'm not going to explain what this is. If you have not watched this video, which I made yesterday, I recommend watching it because it goes over what this is very slowly. So today we're going to jump into it. So here's another analysis regarding Medicare Advantage enrollment. More specifically, what happens if Clover Health takes 25% market share? Okay. Now, very quickly, Clover Health now has more than 10% market share of the New Jersey market. Now, what would happen if they eventually control 25% from their SaaS business for Counterpart? Well, overall, if you were to analyze this, there are about 32.8 million people that are on Medicare Advantage. In fact, a lot of them, it's going to go up because, by I think 2030, there's going to be more than 60% of Medicare beneficiaries are going to be Medicare Advantage. So assuming 25% of 32.8 million, it'll get you, I put it here, it'll get you, where to go? It'll get you 8.2 million primary care members. Again, normally this is part of the research division. I usually keep this to ourselves since this is speculation. I just might as well want to release it to you guys. Again, the speculation, right? This is just like a what if scenario, so I can just see potentially what are we looking at here, right? So, and this is just counterpart assistant. This is not part of the normal Medicare Advantage business. So if they were to get 8.2 million, here's a nice table. You can expect about $2.46 billion of annual revenue. In fact, as we go to year 5 or year 10, we'll actually, we can, just from, year 1, you would get about 2.5 billion in revenue. But then by like year 5, you would get about $3.1 billion in revenue. The cumulative 10-year revenue would be $32 billion. So year 1 will give you about 2.46 billion. Year 5 would give you about 3.1 billion annually, and year 10 will give you about 4 billion annually. So now that like we're saying that, okay, potentially, this can essentially go, let's say, to $4 billion in, let's say, 10 years if they get 25% market share. We can go ahead and attack it with these numbers, which is insane. If we were to get 4 billion multiplied by the price to sales of Palantir here, you're gonna go nuts. I mean, you're gonna go nuts. I mean, I just you would have $353 billion of a market cap. And if that was the case, you would get a stock price of around $706. Now, obviously, this is the insane case of where Palantir is at, 88.25%, sorry, 88.25 price of sales. Now, if you were to do a reduction in by 50%, you just put about 4 billion and you go ahead and say equals, I'll just multiply it out here. You get about 176 billion, right? Well, hello, you get 176 billion. And if you were to take 176 billion and try to get the stock price, you get 352, right? $352 pretty much. Okay. Now, if you were to do that 22.06 in terms of the price to sales, you would get a price to sales. You would get a market cap of 88 point. You would get a market cap of 88.24 billion. And if you were to try to find the stock price here, you would get $176 stock price. Okay, let's go ahead and do here. Now let's do the typical. If we were to do the typical, this is kind of simple. This is obviously 40 billion. Then the stock price would be 80. So we can go ahead. I'm just gonna. We already talked about what free cash flow could be. So you can see kind of where this could go. Okay, this is pretty insane, and this is just 25% market share for the counterpart assistant. Now let me give you an example. So let's kind of like Doctor Strange. Let's kind of go down this timeline, this speculative timeline. Let's say, if we were to go down this timeline, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think is going to happen to the counterpart assistant? You think it's going to get smarter? Of course, it's going to get smarter. It's going to be able to see all those patients. It's going to be able to train on that data. And once Clover gets all that data, what do you think they're going to do? And this is what a lot of people are scared to partner with them, I bet. Maybe there's a do not compete clause, but they're an insurance company. I don't know. What I would think is they're going to be in states that don't offer Clover, and then they're going to collect data. And after 5 years, they might enter that state because they've seen millions of patients from that state, and they're going to get to a point where they're going to have so much data to where now they'll deploy their Medicare Advantage business. So then Clover Health can go ahead and not steal patients, but be able to convert them. So you have the counterpart assistant offering SaaS-like structure on a we are giving an average of a $20 per patient per month, per member per month. And then once it learns, it feeds to the Clover Health, and then they can go in and then they'll be able to take over everybody. I mean, this is crazy, right? This business model is such a flywheel business model, right? It's really, really crazy. And if you want to read this full report, I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the Research Edge part of our lifetime access. But altogether, I mean, primary care providers, people that are seniors, they see their primary care about 2.5 to 3 times per year. So, I mean, this stuff is really well documented. And, this is one of our deep dives to really get into the nitty gritty, to really understand kind of this situation. Because, it's, if I was to, let's say, do it over again and I wasn't passionate about, let's say, surgery, I would, I would go into primary care, because I would say primary care is a growing field and it's such a well needed job, right? I'm just very passionate about the brain, but if I think primary care is going to explode in terms of the capabilities of it. I mean, it really is going to shift the paradigm of kind of medicine, I think, right? So there's that. So we went ahead and did this. I want to make sure. So one more thing I would like to talk about. Yesterday, I was speaking to the stock terminal members, and we said a lot of things here. I just wanted to yesterday. No, it's a little later. So we talked about this. We talked about this late at night after that VA live. I wanted to show you this because frankly, I think this is very important. Here it is, okay? So, if you were to go back to October 14, 2021, the title of this article is called "The Huge Opportunity to Use Technology to Bring Great Healthcare to More People." Interview with Clover Health's Andrew Toy. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read one area here, and then we can go ahead and do a deep dive on this later. But I just need you to just to kind of get this to your head. If you're not listening right now, I need you to like stop talking to your wife and like listen to what I'm about to tell you, or your husband, right? Listen. I need you to read this, okay? I need you to listen. All right. This is what Andrew Toy said. Okay. I think people in that retail environment support and are willing to believe and bet on a grand plan. They want something audacious, someone who's going out there saying, we're an incredible $150 billion company. They see Clover as being different, and we are different. That's a great thing, as opposed to when people say, oh, you're just a Medicare Advantage plan. No, we're not. These are not my words. These are the words of Andrew Toy, who is the current CEO of Clover Health. This is not a Medicare Advantage plan. They're literally telling you what they believe they are in the future. Look at my analysis here. It's falling in line between these two components here. These two components. You understand what I'm saying here? Yes, it's just through an API. They've always had access to Epic. If you go back to my older videos from like many couple years ago, but we have a deep dive analysis on our Research Edge, right? But you can see, why I've been so adamant about showing you, what kind of what's going on, and then showing you how to effectively calculate the intrinsic value when no one was talking about it. And I'm, trying to show you how you can effectively make money on Wall Street from our educational platform, right? But this is huge. Now, this, again, we're an incredible $150 billion company, okay? Now, I want us to go ahead and just really quickly go and read this again. This is Vivek. In 10 years, I strongly believe that it is possible for Clover to have made the biggest positive impact in healthcare, while simultaneously accruing the largest market value in healthcare in excess of any healthcare company that exists today. Guys, this is insane. This is insane. Okay. So I am here for the long term, and I'm very excited for our members. If this hits 150 billion, let's say in the future, we're talking a $300 stock price. Okay. Our platform will have $3 billion of net worth based off of a 30% response rate. $3 billion in net worth. Now you understand why we're going to be raising the lifetime access to over $10,000. Why eventually we're going to end up closing lifetime access, because it's going to be a privilege to be part of our community, because our community has a lot of smart people. Okay. Right. Exactly. It's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. Yes, it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create scholarships and be able to give back. It's really nice to give. Right. So what I'm going to do now is, here's our progression analysis. Here's what I worked on pretty much today. So check this out. So we hit CLOV and we hit enter, and it automatically goes ahead and puts in the data, and it gives you this projection. I'm going to alter it a little bit, and I'm just going to make a couple of changes. So I'm going to put a 1,350 for this year's revenue. It's showing me 17.21%. This is our kind of own way of calculating something. And I would say it's really good. It gets to the truth. You go ahead and calculate 17%, and you get a stock price of anywhere between a bull case of 397 all the way to $20. But remember, Clover is not growing at 17.21%. Hello. It's actually growing at 9.33% as of today. We go ahead and do that, and watch. As soon as you hit enter, it zeroes these out, and it automatically does the calculation. So you can see Clover's kind of trading within year 1 and year 2 ranges. But if they continue growing at 9.33%, then in 10 years, they're going to get to $10, right? But here's what's funny. Clover Health is not growing at 9.33% anymore. They just released that they're going to be growing at 27%. And that's most likely not even including their SaaS revenue that they're basically announcing with Southern Illinois Health and also Duke and all the other ones, Iowa Clinic. Well, let's go ahead and put 27%. Sorry. You put 27% and you get kind of the all the way from $4 to $43.37. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just using a price to sales of 1.18. That's not using the price to sales of what a SaaS company typically will be. Now, let's go ahead and assume we have a normal Medicare Advantage growth rate of 5. We have that revenue of what we said, which is in our report. We said 2. Give me a moment. This is their VA speculation. We said in our report, that first year, let's say, eventually it'll be 3, but let's say 2.46. Let's put here 2460, and let's put a price to sales ratio of, I would say 50. Let's do 15. 15 is pretty good. 15 is really good because it's just like less than 25%. I would say near 25% of that, of what Palantir is. I would say 20. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 20, but 15 is a pretty good number. So let's do 15. So we'll do a price to sales of 15. We'll go ahead and we'll only grow this at 5% because we're just assuming the SaaS revenue. You get SaaS, guys, and look at these prices, $92 to $149, and that's only growing at 5%, and that's not including the Medicare Advantage business. So let's assume let's first get the SaaS. This could be the SaaS with a 25% market share. So that's $149. So let's just grab this, bring it here, and let's just bring this here and let's add. So this is the SaaS business in 10 years, let's say, if they control 25%. Now let's go ahead and let's do 27%. Let's fix it. Wait, this is let me make sure. Let me make sure we get this right. We said 15, right? Yeah, 149.93. Okay, we got that. So now let's go ahead and let's hit CLOV now. But let's do 27% and let's fix this and go 1350. Let's hit enter. Let's hit enter. Okay. So now in 10 years, we got that $43.37. So if we were to do this right now, let's say in 10 years from now, you could see Clover could potentially be $200. Okay. So isn't that crazy? Let's see, not looking good on the chart, but I'm still holding. For the short term. Yeah. I mean, I'm long term, right? I think scared Primal away. I am Al's number 1 fan. Oh, I know. Yeah. Where are you, Primal? Right. So here's the thing, guys. You're saying that doesn't look on the chart. I would say it's just following this line. Yeah, the MACD definitely crossed on the negative side of things. But if you go ahead and look at our stock terminal here and go to our technical analysis here and hit CLOV, and let's do the advanced technicals using our AI engine, you can see the minute, hour, daily, weekly, all time is uptrended with 5 bullish points compared to bearish. Again, it's all part of the lifetime access to the stock terminal. Lots of great stuff. Now, obviously, we could potentially we could potentially go lower because of all of these what do you call it, tariffs. But I don't know what you're talking about when you're saying the chart doesn't look good, because look at this chart. I mean, you're telling me this doesn't look good? It's a sexy chart. I mean, this thing, let's see how much is up. I'm honestly curious what it's up from its lows. It's up from its lows Here, let's do this. We can easily see. It's up 596%. Too much, too fast. Well, it also depreciated uh too fast as well. And it's just going back to its mean reversion. Go back to those posts I made about mean reversion a couple weeks ago, right? That's where we're headed, right? It's just, right? So and we can do our quantum chart too. If we look at our quantum chart, where the hell's our quantum chart? Or here's our quantum flow. You hit quantum flow and you go ahead and hit monthly. Uh, you know, in terms of the quantum side of things, you can see um, there's a lot of buying pressure near this $4.20 region this year. And and again, this is our quantum chart on the long range. You can see when the stock was around $28, there's a lot of selling pressure. But as it depreciated, there was a lot of selling pressure, especially when it hit 60 cents. You could see, sorry, buying pressure, right? You can see, and look at this buying. Look at all this buying. You know what's crazy? The cumulative, we're slowly getting to becoming green. But look at Palantir. It used to be negative, used to be very negative on the cumulative side, and then all of a sudden became positive. So we have such a long ways to go for Clover. And I think we're so early in the game, right? So that's all I have to say from that regard. I hope that this video was helpful. In the future, we'll kind of encompass all these and talk, but I recommend kind of looking at the VA video. If you like what you see and want access to all the data that we have, this also includes a 2.5 billion outputs of institutionally graded data, especially in our brain machine, and also third-party vendors that we have that normally you would have to pay monthly. You could go ahead and join our platform. We're currently having a flash sale, $500 off, coupon code FLASH. It'll be expiring soon. You'll be able to join our community of multiple millionaires. You'll be able to get access to our advanced stock terminal, the All Stock Trades terminal, and as well as our normal stock terminal, lifetime access, one-time payment, and you lock in any upgrades. And we do a lot of upgrades. So that's all I have for you guys. And I hope that this was a helpful video. Have a wonderful good night, and I'll see you on the next one.